guys, it's Isis. Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be how to stop manifesting toxic people and circumstances if you come from an abusive home. This video is going to discuss why we are magnetized to these situations, and then the video after this will directly talk about how to stop all of this bad toxicity from coming into your life. How to reprogram your subconscious mind. So in this video, let's get into why do we manifest these people and circumstances over and over and over again. A lot of people who come from toxic homes were never mothered. They never had a father or a mother figure that actually took care of them. Instead, the child was, pressured to take care of and be there for and support the toxic parent. Did you have to take care of and raise yourself, or take care and raise anybody else in your family because your parent was completely unqualified to do their job? So if you come from a toxic, abusive home during your entire childhood, your parent or parents' love and attention was always out of reach for you. Okay, it was always unobtainable. You had to live with these people every day of your life. You were always trying to get them to love you, but their love was always out of reach, and it always felt just out of reach. And so you were probably chasing it and desiring it so badly and seeing how you could almost get it, but it was always, when you were a child, just you couldn't get it. It always felt just out of reach. So as an adult, your subconscious mind is constantly trying to figure out, why didn't mom love me? Why didn't dad love me? What should I have done differently to make my parents love me? If I had just done X, Y, and Z as a child, I could have earned my parents' love. If I do X, Y, and Z now, I can make this person fall in love with me. If I do X, Y, and Z now, I can make my partner treat me better. If I do X, Y, and Z now, I can make this person love me. It's like this giant puzzle your subconscious mind is constantly trying to solve. So the next toxic person and situation comes into your life so you can go through the same steps of trying to get love, acceptance, or respect from a person who is incapable of giving you these things. This happens over and over and over again as we try to solve this unsolvable puzzle. Let's talk about why we attract toxic situations now. Not just relationships, but situations that are so bad for us, like toxic work environments over and over and over again. Manifesting and repeating obsessions with people who are unobtainable to us. That is another toxic situation that will repeat over and over and over again. Being obsessed with someone who's married, someone who is a friend who we've been in love with for years, who we've always waited for them to, figure out that we're the right one, but they never do, and we feel strung along for years. Or, a celebrity that we don't even know and have never met, but we've convinced ourselves that if we ever did meet them, we would be so connected to them. Okay, these are toxic situations that we fall into again and again and again. These situations are comfortable and familiar if you come from a toxic, abusive family. Why? Oftentimes in dysfunctional families, the family feels like how they're perceived by others is way more important than what's actually happening within their family. How they're perceived by others, their image and their status, that's the most important thing in the world. Okay, what's actually happening and how their children are actually being raised is way less important to toxic, abusive parents than how others perceive them. So from an early age, you are taught and conditioned to speak lies about your family, to project this image of perfection, to tell everyone in the world and all your friends and everyone in your hometown that, your mother and your father have a wonderful marriage, where in reality it might be, a hairline fracture away from falling apart at any moment. It's just these constant lies that we're conditioned as children to present to the world about our families. Lies such as, everyone in our family is so close. We all love each other. We all have so much money. We are all great parents. Our parents' marriage is strong and healthy. If you grow up in a toxic family, forced to believe lies and forced to tell lies to others about how wonderful your family is, lies become your normal. So you're able to convince yourself of all sorts of lies as an adult. Lies such as, my boss has been stringing me along and promising me a raise and promotion for years, and I've never gotten one, but any day now it's gonna come. Lies like, My best friend who I'm in love with, who does not return my feelings, one day is going to see me and love me for the person that I am. My coworker who is married should leave his wife and children for me. If my coworker just left his wife and children for me, we would have the best relationship. The celebrity that I am in love with, if we just met, we would be so connected. We would be soulmates. We would be twin flames. If I could just find a way to meet them, we would be perfect together. Your BFF, your best friend, who is always late and never doing you favors, but always expects favors from you, she is such a good friend to you. As children, we desperately needed love and attention and acceptance, and if we didn't get that, oftentimes what happens is we start playing make-believe and pretending that we got that. You'll even see a lot of adult children talk about their enabler mother or their enabler father, like this person, this parent who enabled all this toxic abuse from a narcissist, an alcoholic, a drug addict, a psychopath, whatever the situation was. The enabler parent will be so held up and admired by the child to the point where their parent is almost, turned into some sort of saint. So children who come from abusive homes accept the day-to-day abuse as normal. This is all they know. So this is normal to them. In order for this to be normal, during childhood, we start to make excuses. We start doing this at a very early age for toxic parents, toxic siblings, unacceptable abusive behavior. We start making excuses for this behavior and normalizing it and telling ourselves and everyone else around us. And we listen to other people in our family tell us repeatedly that this toxic abusive behavior is okay. So that's ingrained in us from very, very, very early ages. And then this make-believe continues on into adulthood. Take a look at your adulthood. Look at all of the, boyfriends and girlfriends you've had, all the friends that you've had, all the co-workers that you had and bosses that you had, all the people who came into your lives. Were these people toxic and controlling or abusive? Did they belittle your accomplishments? Did they take credit for your work? Were these people mirror images of your parents and your other toxic family members? Did they mirror the toxic behavior of your parents? So do they treat you as badly as your toxic parents treated you? Do these people always make you feel furious and sad and abused and then abandoned? If they're your friends or your partners, do they say that they care about you? But then when it comes to actually being there for you when you need help, are they nowhere to be found? Do all these people in your life, in your adult life, belittle your accomplishments? They've done it better, or they could do it better, or they will do it better than you. Do they always try to make you feel less intelligent, less attractive, less interesting than you actually are? Are you surrounded by toxic people that you have to constantly make up excuses for their behavior? So if the answer to any of these questions is yes, it's probably because all the people you're attracting are a direct mirror of your relationship with your parents as a child, your relationship with your siblings as a child, and any other toxic family member. They are mirroring back to you what's comfortable and familiar to you. The truth is, we attract what is comfortable and what is familiar. If you don't break these patterns of playing make-believe, you will play make-believe as an adult until the day you die. So whether it's the guy who's married, the friend who doesn't return your feelings, the celebrity you're obsessed with, the friend who doesn't treat you well, the boss that doesn't give you the raise, whatever the situation is that you're lying to yourself about. We tell ourselves these lies because we're conditioned from childhood to tell and believe lies about our families. Finding a single person who doesn't have a wife, who doesn't have a girlfriend, who is a real person and not a celebrity, who has, unlike your friend who never returns your feelings and has been stringing you along for years, this person is like, they have laid it on the line that they really like you and they want to keep dating you. That honesty and openness and their attraction to you feels so uncomfortable because you want the person who you have to chase but can't get, because that is what you went through every day of your childhood. So now let's get into how to stop manifesting these toxic, abusive situations and relationships. How do we stop doing this? No more lies, no more excuses, no more make-believe. Your toxic parent is an abusive person. Your toxic parent is a horrible human being who treated you like dirt your whole life. Your enabler parent has no backbone and had no ability to be a parent to you and did an absolutely terrible job. That is your reality. Embrace your reality. Speak your reality. Speak your truth, and you will find your power. That is step one. No more make-believe. Radical acceptance about your family. If you're still excusing your parents' toxic behavior, your relatives' toxic behavior, anyone's toxic abusive behavior in your family, if you're excusing it and making, up excuses and reasons why their behavior is acceptable.
One, two.
Oh, they act like this because they had a horrible childhood.
No pain, no gain.
They act like this because they don't know any better, or they say horrible things to us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spaghetti, too. I think it stains.
But they really love us. They scream at us on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but they deep down they really love us.
Deep down, he's insecure.
Yeah, well, up front, he's an asshole.
I don't care about deep down. Up front, they're a horrible person, okay? And no more excuses. Because as long as you keep making excuses, you're saying to the universe, I want more people that I can make excuses for. No more excuses. No more excuses that you speak to other people. Do not call your cousin and get on the phone and tell her all the reasons why your toxic mother's behavior was okay. No more speaking excuses about their behavior. Absolutely not. And also, no more excuses to yourself. No more internal talk about why their behavior is actually okay. If you have a person in your life that you never ever have to make up an excuse about why they behaved in a bad way, that's a person that you need to hold on to. I have been married since 2011. I've been with my husband since 2008. In all these years that we've been together, I have never once had to make up or excuse a reason to explain away his bad behavior. He's a human being and we get angry at each other and we fight and normal, but it's never that I have to call someone and explain why he acted that way or tell myself, oh, he just did that because, no, never once in all these years have I ever had to do that. So if you find a person you never ever have to make up an excuse for their bad behavior, that's who you want to hold on to. Whether it's a friend or a partner, anyone, that is a quality human being. Being a parent is a job. If people don't perform their jobs properly, they get fired. Fire your parent. They did not raise you properly. They do not get to be your parent anymore. And especially if you have your own children now, if they were incapable of being a parent to you, they're incapable of being a healthy grandparent to your children. Fire them. You must accept the fact you did not have a mother or a father growing up, and that you still don't have a mother or father. This is going to come with a lot of crying and acceptance. This is going to be hard. It's going to feel like grieving someone. It's going to feel like someone died, because this is a loss. This belief that you had about how that you actually had a mother or a father, it's been like a security blanket that you've been clinging onto your entire life. But in reality, you never had a mother, you never had a father. So this acceptance feels like the same as it does. It's the same grieving process as when someone dies. It can feel that painful. It's not your fault your parents didn't love you. It's not your fault or your problem that your parent has an extreme psychological problem. It is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to take care of them. It is not your job to heal them. You were not put on this planet to be their servant. You were not put on this planet to help them or fix them or heal them. They are adults. If they want help, they have to ask for it. The moment you decide that this is not your parent, this is your ex-parent, the moment you make that decision in your conscious mind, they cannot control you, they cannot manipulate you. harmful and hateful and toxic things that they speak to you don't penetrate you or hurt you the same way, the moment you decide that this person is no longer your parent, it removes all the control and manipulation they have over you. That's the moment the healing begins. So your conscious mind accepts that this toxic person is not your family any longer. Then you can begin the work of healing and changing your subconscious mind to accept that the toxic person is not part of your family any longer. This is the first step to stop attracting new toxic people and situations to you. Now, I would recommend severing all ties with your toxic family. And you'll see that the more you heal yourself, if you start therapy and start talking and start processing all of the bad, ridiculous, crazy circumstances that you put up with and had to endure over the years, when you start processing that with a therapist, weird things happen. You start to heal yourself, and then your toxic family sees that you start to heal yourself, and they don't like that. They don't like that you are becoming empowered. They don't like that you're not controllable anymore. The more you heal yourself, the more uncomfortable they are. And then cutting off your toxic family actually sometimes happens because they are so freaked out by this empowered person that you're becoming, they don't know who you are anymore. They can't control and manipulate you. They actually sometimes start to pull away from you. So the family estrangement that inevitably has to happen in order for you to heal is sometimes a mutual thing because they can't handle this empowered person you're becoming. They can't handle it. But if it is, for whatever reason, impossible to sever ties with your family, you have to do what I call no emotional contact. That means they're still around, but nothing they say affects you. When they talk about you behind your back and you hear about it, toxic families will do this. They'll go over and tell you everything that, so-and-so said about you to try to pull you back into the family drama. If you don't care what they think about you, you'll stop caring what they're saying behind your back to each other about you. You just won't care, and then it'll stop affecting your emotions. It'll stop ruining your days. It'll stop, ruining your moods. It'll stop having any control over your emotions. Everything they've ever said in your entire life has been a lie. So everything they're now saying about you to your face and behind your back, that's also a lie. So why does it matter what they say? It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what they say to each other. It doesn't matter what they say to you. If you cannot cut off your family and be 100% estranged, like I said, the more you heal yourself, you'll get to a point that you just won't care and you just won't be willing to participate in the craziness. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. When you just don't care at all about how someone's doing. If they're doing well, you don't care. If they're doing horribly, you don't care. When you stop ruminating and wanting justice or revenge, when you're just totally, I don't care how they're doing. That's the goal you want to get, how you feel about your entire toxic family. Totally indifferent. All right, so the next video, we're going to talk about how to reprogram your subconscious mind so you stop attracting these toxic, abusive situations. So step 1, change your conscious mind. Accept the fact that you don't have a family. Accept the fact that you don't have a mother, you don't have a father, that these people don't matter. As soon as your conscious mind accepts that, then you can start the healing process of, let's get your subconscious mind to accept this too. So that'll be in the next video. Please check that one out. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment if any of this resonated with you or was relatable to you. So leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching, and blessed be.